Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Inquiring Minds. I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and there's no Javi today. Javi has some prior commitments, so I am going solo. Guys, don't worry. I think I can handle it, but stay tuned because you just never know if I can. So we'll have to see. What's up, Ruben? I'll try to do my best with the chat as soon as some folks start jumping in here. Right before I start, I just want to give my heartfelt condolences to the Van Halen family. He was a big part of my youth. Eddie Van Halen, man, he was a rock god, and I felt it yesterday. I've been listening to Van Halen pretty much ever since. Crazy, man. It just blows my mind that Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, Jimmy Page outlived Eddie Van Halen. You just never know how life is gonna go, man. But man, my condolences. The music world lost a legend, and we'll be talking about that later on in the week. But what's up, JP? What's up, 84, man? No, Javi. I'll see everybody later. Thanks for coming by anyway. I know Javi's the star. But what's up, Lasso? But anyway, without further ado, let me get it started. I got a special guest, just fairly new to YouTube, but this guy has knowledge. He's from Miami. Enough said, man. What else can I say? But let's get to know Comicbook 1962. What's up, Alex? How you doing?
How you doing, Ro? Hey, great to be here, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. We were talking backstage, and we were going back and forth at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
right?
Trying to get on.
Trying to get on, and it just didn't work out. And finally, and you weren't even doing videos back then.
No, I wanted to.
Yeah,
I was watching you, and you had I don't know when you actually started, but I started catching up to you. I think in November, December, January timeframe.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and you hit me up on Instagram, and it was like, yeah, let's do it, but schedules just didn't work out. And
yeah, brother, Miami guys have to hang together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you down south?
Yeah, I'm actually out west, southwest. I'm like right by Tamiami Trail and the Doral Tamiami Trail area, man, out towards that area.
That has grown like crazy. Doral.
Oh yeah. When I was out here, when I moved out here in this area, we were in a lot and we were the second house. Wow. There was nothing out here. Right now, 1 block away from me is the beginning of the Everglades.
Wow, dude.
So it's still out there.
It's still like where I live in Pines, and where I'm at now used to be swamp when I was a kid, man. There was nothing here. Were you here for Andrew?
Dude, I've been here since 1964.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Andrew changed everything, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Andrew, the morning after Andrew, I got in my car with my wife, and they had that big VHS recorders.
Yeah.
So I decided to do like a video of what was going on. And as we were driving south, it was interesting. The roads were broken, the trees were down, the houses were broken, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then I started realizing people looking at me like, you are real, and I was like, I got it. I got it. Cut the camera. Where this is a tragedy. You know what I mean?
Tragedy, bro. This is not a time to be filming.
Yeah. It was actually surprising because to me it was more about capturing that moment, and I wanted to get it on video because it was amazing. I mean, the sidewalks were like 6 feet high because the roots had pulled them up. Houses were gone. I had a friend of mine who his wife had a baby like a week before. And when the hurricane hit, they were living in Country Walk. And if you remember, Country Walk was devastated.
That was ground zero. That was ground zero, man.
Yeah. And at the time, I was actually working for Burger King Corporation.
Wow.
Down in the Homestead area. And we were actually ground zero.
Wow.
The
Offices?
well, the offices, the central offices globally for Burger King. The winds were clocked by the Bahamian Meteorological Office out of Nassau. When they hit Burger King headquarters, the hurricane was 225 miles an hour.
Fuck, bro.
When we got there like a month later, and it looked like Godzilla had fought with the building.
Yeah, dude.
There were chunks missing. There was water in the 6th floor.
Bro.
You opened the drawers and there was sand. It was unbelievable.
Do you remember seeing the buildings and like a whole side of the wall is just gone and you could just see the floors and the rooms? And
Yeah. Oh, this guy that I told you about, when he got into a closet and he said that about maybe 3 in the morning because the hurricane came fast.
Yeah.
Remember, it was a fast hurricane.
Sunday night. It was a Sunday night.
Yeah, and when he said that when he opened the door, his house was gone, and only the closet was there where they were in. He said it was literally like a miracle. And when I was, I've lived here all my life. I'm not scared of hurricanes at all. Right. So Andrew's coming, and I'm like putting my high hats on my house, taking off those things and putting them on, right? Yeah. Getting the house ready. Have 3 Dobermans running around my yard back then. My little girl was about a year old, my wife in the house, and my dad drives up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just, getting ready for the hurricane. I'm going to hang out and probably do a barbecue and and get a little blasted." He's like, "Are you crazy?"
Crazy.
And all of a sudden, the moment he said that, the sky goes literally like that, and it gets covered like Spider-Man's webbing with electricity. Yeah. And I looked up and I was like, "This I've never seen before." Dude. I said, "This I've never," because it was so intense, bro. So I got in a car and we went to a shelter.
Dude, what's crazy when I think about it now, it's like we're on Delta, right? And Delta's a monster storm.
Yeah.
Out now. Dude, Andrew was the first storm of the year, and it was a buzzsaw.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Andrew, it's thank God we didn't get hit again, because just think about Louisiana, man.
But it's crazy, brother.
They've gotten hit like 3 times this year, or that area.
Yeah, but bro, look, let me tell you something. I what I do for a living, besides loving comics, right, is I do technology. Okay. So I used to have a company that focused on business continuity, which means when hurricanes come or disasters hit, how does a company survive? Right. A lot of it I learned at Burger King, right? Because I was doing technology for them at the time. So we had to go through the whole process of rebuilding the company and all that. So then I took all that knowledge and created my own little consulting firm. Nice. And I when I started doing that, I started meeting with the Central Hurricane Center at FIU, which is the United States Center for Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. FIU has that office right there. Right. The Meteorological Center. So I would talk to the old guy. Remember that guy who used to come on TV all the time? Everybody liked him. I forgot his name now. Yeah. I knew him.
Wow.
And I used to go there and talk to him about planning, because we would work with them in Channel 7 and producing those sheets that go out and all that stuff. Right. And one day I was sitting with him and I go, "Have you ever noticed something?" I said, "Florida's made of limestone, right? Limestone is like a sandbar. We're literally on top of a sandbar." Right. I said, "But if you look at the way the map is designed of the United States, there's a divot between Texas and New Orleans and another one between Florida and North Carolina. Right. And all the hurricanes go in there. Yeah. That's why you have that divot. And we stick out because they never really hit us."
No. Yeah.
And he was like, "Scientifically means nothing." He goes, "But actually, when you look at the map, you're right. It is trying to tell us something." I said, "Because if we would get hit like we got with Andrew, we'd be wiped out."
You would be wiped out. Or what is it? Our coast would change.
Absolutely.
Right? The configuration of our coast would change.
And it's actually shaped by the waters and the winds that go around us.
Right. But we've been really lucky, because what is it? The pressure system? It just seems like it drives everything somewhere else, and it's not. Dude,
when I was a kid in 1980, I don't know how old
what was that, David?
No, yes, it was David. It was David. Yeah, it was David. In 1980, a friend of mine, Keith, his father, these guys that were living in Florida from like the 1900s, right? Uh-huh. Keith's dad comes up to us and goes, "Hey, I'm going to go to the beach." We're like, "Going to the beach?" There's a hurricane coming. He's like, yeah, I like to watch them turn north just before they hit. I was like, you kidding me, man? And that's exactly, David came, stopped, looked at us, looked at North Carolina and said, I like that.
Bro, do you remember? Okay, guys, if everybody watching, this is a comic book show, you know, but we're talking hurricanes, all right? Do you remember a few years ago? I think there was this monster storm. I think it was Isaac.
Yeah, the one that went through Wilma and no?
Well, it was one that like this is Florida, and it came right off the coast, and it just stayed here, and it was like a 5, and and I remember looking at the radar, and it was the size of Florida.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
And it just stuck on us right next to us, and then it went up, and it nicked North Carolina. I think it was Isaac. Dude, I was terrified, bro.
Yeah, no, it is scary. It is scary.
It's scary.
And you know what? You want to know something? You ever been to North Carolina? I mean, to Louisiana, New Orleans?
Oh yeah, I've been to NOLA. It's you're on the water, dude. It's
and if you go off Bourbon Street,
right,
some of the greatest collecting houses are right there. So they got wiped out.
Really?
You're talking about documents. They had documents signed by Abraham Lincoln because there were emancipation of slaves. They had comics. They had coins. They had everything there. That was before the big one, Katrina. Before Katrina. All that was wiped out. So some of the comic value that you have is thanks to Katrina. Because it wiped out a lot of comic books, bro.
Dude, that's sad to think about, but you do think of that. It's like, well, dude, when the last time there was a hurricane a few years ago, it was like I got statues, I was putting them all in bags, I was trying to put them, because you just never know, man. You take a shit.
I know, you really do. You really
take a shit. I remember I was thinking, oh my god, I was thinking, I had some slabs,
right.
And I was like, okay, I cannot replace these. You know, I cannot replace these. And you know where I stuck them? I stuck them in the dishwasher.
How funny! That's a good idea, though.
And then I locked the dishwasher and with our important documents. And okay, this is as close to a safe as this is where my stuff is gonna be. If it hits, hopefully this survives. And then and then everything else, I put it in trash bags. I tied it up and did the best I could.
I've got, you've heard of go bags, right?
Yes.
Okay, I've got go carry-ons.
Wow.
And what happens is my comics are all in here, in files. You see that?
Yeah.
So what happens is I've got this is my Golden Age one, which actually I took out because I wanted to show some of the stuff. But I've got different comics available to be able to take them out at a moment's notice in case there is a hurricane and I need to get the heck out.
Yeah, dude.
And these are waterproof. I mean, even if the water comes in and I don't happen to be here, and they're all like this, right? They're inside these things, these hanging folders.
Perfect.
So I have my whole collection like that. I've got
you have your whole collection?
Yeah, all of it.
No long boxes, no short boxes, nothing.
Over the years, I have probably 25 of those cases.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Dude, I've been collecting a long time, so I've been upgrading. You know what I mean?
Since 1962?
No, I actually. You know why I did that is one is that's when I was born.
Of course.
The other one is because that's the year the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the Hulk really came into being.
Very nice, bro.
So I mean, I may have been created by Stan Lee.
Very nice, dude. and Kirby.
Yeah, that's right, and Kirby.
So you started collecting what year? Can I assume that you're more of a Marvel guy?
Oh yeah, no. I started with Marvel, graduated to DC. What happened is when I got here, I came from Cuba, right? I got here when I was 2 years old, and I went like almost all good Cubans directly to New Jersey. Wow. And back then, because that's where all the jobs were, right? Yeah, your parents would go up there and they go work. So I lived in New Jersey for a couple of years, and I had a cousin. And my cousin had been collecting comics, and he was about 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So when I got to his place, he had like the early, and today he has all Spider-Man, all Fantastic Four.
Still collects, or he still has?
Yes, he still has his collection.
Wow.
He doesn't collect anymore, but he has like every Silver Age Marvel ever produced,
Mhm.
Conan, all the Silver Age stuff. He has them. I mean, like Fantastic Four, X-Men, Hulk, then Spider-Man. He has all the way to from 1 to 100, and
Wow.
that's what he's kept. The rest he got rid of years ago. And I had a bunch of stuff because I started early. So I've had Amazing Fantasy twice.
No shit.
No shit. And I was stupid enough to sell it twice.
And what year did you sell them?
Well, the first time I sold it in 1976 to buy a car. I sold Fantastic Four #1. I sold Spider-Man #1, Amazing Fantasy 15, X-Men 1 to like 80. So I had a bunch of stuff, and I went to, I don't know if you remember, there was a comic book store called Sunshine. Sunshine. You remember that?
Wait. Bro, what a mess. What a mess that store was, though, right?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
It was a disaster. And those people, you know there's a thing about people going to cons that people tend to get body odor?
Oh, no, he came with it before the con.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was Joel. Joel was the owner.
Joe and his mom and his mom.
And his mom and his sister.
Or with the crazy hit,
Yeah.
Dude, I would go there like once a month when I used to have my my orthodontist down in Kendall Drive.
Right.
And my dad would take me, my brother, and my good friend that we used to all collect. And on the way back, we would stop at Sunshine, and he would give us $20. And $20 back then was, it was crazy money.
Oh, I know.
Sunshine Comics. So you sold it to him?
I sold it to him. Everything. I think I sold it for like $700. All of it. The whole shebang. And then I had another Amazing Fantasy 15 and a whole run of Silver Surfers. Wow. The first series.
Yeah.
And I this one's even better. I sold that one to overhaul my engine to a mechanic in 1978. Yeah,
but they're not worth what they're worth now, though. You know.
Oh, back then they like Amazing Fantasy was probably worth like $200. The Silver Surfers altogether were worth maybe $200.
Yeah.
So my overhaul was $700, or $600. So I gave it to the guy. The guy was a friend of my cousin, and he was a mechanic. The guy that collected the old comics. So he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for that," and we made a change. Then I've done exchanges the other way. I got this.
Yeah, man, share.
Yeah, let me show you something. I got this. This is my pride and joy because this is a tough book to get. This is a real tough book to get. All Winners, #8, and this is a 7.0.
Oh my God! If Man Cave was in here, if he's still in here, he's gonna freak out right now.
Let me see there. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful comic.
Wow!
And it's got the invaders.
What year is that? What year is that?
This one is 1943.
God bless, bro.
I got this from a guy because I traded a IBM PC for it.
What?
Yeah, in I want to say 1999, 2000, just when CGC started. So I gave him the PC, right? And he gave me the comic. At the time, it was pretty much worth it. The comic was about $800 at that time. The PC was about $800.
Wow.
Then about 2 years later, he came back and he's like, "Man, my PC's worthless." I'm like, "My All Winners isn't."
I think you got the better hand. But let me ask real quick. You didn't you graded it afterwards.
No, this was one of the early.
And you just got it reslabbed? You got it reslabbed?
No, this is the original slabbing.
Wow.
This is the original. This thing got slabbed. I think it says it somewhere, right?
No, it doesn't say it. Dude,
it doesn't say it anywhere?
Crazy.
Here's something. Hold on. Let me see what it says.
Man, my dad was 6 years old when that came out.
I think this is 2003, something like that.
Wow.
So it was around 2003.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
My dad was 6 years old when that book came out. That's a 7.0.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? My dad was born like literally that year. Maybe 2 years earlier, 41. It's amazing.
God, dude. It's amazing that those books survived, right?
Right? Especially after everything that happened.
Everything that happened, there was no bag of boards. That all came in the 70s, man. It was just
Oh yeah, you know what I used to do in the 70s? We used to go to Grand Union. Remember Grand Union?
yeah, man.
We used to go to Grand Union and grab the vegetable rolls of plastic, me and my best friend, and we used to put the comics in there.
Wow.
That's what our first bags were. We would actually buy the roll from the store, and then we'd go home and rip each one of those vegetable bags that you
Yeah.
get now, and we would put the comics in there and seal them.
Dude, that is nuts, dude.
There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing.
So let me go back to Sunshine Comics. That was on Bird Road, right? The one on
Yeah, Bird and like I want to say 60, 62, something like that.
Man, I used to freak out when I would walk into that shop. You remember when they would they just had stacks of all their new books on the floor, and it was just like the stacks were all like, and it was like my dad would go in there and he would just be like, "What is this?" Yo espero aquí afuera. Ustedes cogen los libros y yo espero aquí afuera. Bro, because he was like, I can't stand the smell, for one.
Yeah, yeah.
But what other shops have you hit up here? A&M, I imagine?
Of course. Yeah, I used to go there. You know what A&M stands for?
No.
It's the original owners, Arnold and Maxine.
Wow.
That's where the name came from. And then one of my high school friends, George, bought it from them because George worked there when he was like 10 years old. And then 13, 14, 15, he worked there his whole life. And when Arnold got cancer, the owner, Maxine struck a deal with him and said, just pay us monthly and buy the store out from under us because we're retiring.
Does he still own the store?
Yep. It's the oldest comic book store in America today. In America, brother.
Oh, I know it was in Miami. I know in Miami.
No, he actually was on Good Morning America when the X-Men movie came out, the first one. Mm-hmm. They had a film crew down at his store because they found out he was the oldest comic book store in America. He didn't know it. The oldest continuous comic book store in America.
Dude, I've only been there twice.
Yeah.
I've only been there. That's a tough store too, man. It's pretty.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crowded.
Yeah. He's changed it. He actually helped. He's spent the time to clean it up. So now it's not as much as it was. It's, I call it the store of needful things. You remember that movie years ago? Yeah. It's like that. You go in there and you know what the hell you're gonna find. Every corner is a surprise.
Dude, it's not just the corner, Alex. You look up and it feels like the ceiling is coming down because he's got that everything hanging down, and it's like you almost feel like you're gonna bump your head against something, dude.
It should be 101 in fire hazard.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Bro, there's barely any space to navigate in there.
And it's all paper.
I went with my daughter, and I really, the first time I went to that store was less than 2 years ago. I just never made my way there.
Right.
And I was there, and I was like, after like 15 minutes, I go, Madison, come on, let's go. I can't find anything. This is just it's too hard.
Much. Yeah, it's too hard.
And we left, and she goes, Bobby, I loved it. That was just organized chaos.
Yeah. No, it is. And then the funny thing is he has everything.
Yeah.
But you can't find it.
You can't find it, dude.
You have to literally know or ask him about something. And, I've known him for friggin' decades, right? And George is the typical grouchy comic book store owner, right?
That's what I got.
That's George, right? I've known him, and I go in there, and he, because I've known him, he's not as grouchy with me because I don't listen to begin with. But he's just an object in the store. Right. I'm there for what's there, right?
He's more an obstacle, right? He's more like an obstacle. We gotta kind of like maneuver around because he's a big guy, right?
Yeah, he is. But if you knew the kind of stuff that guy has, it would blow your mind. He has complete ECs in original art.
Wow.
The whole book.
Wow.
It's amazing. I mean, it's like mind-blowing. He actually commissioned a piece in Heritage that was the most expensive Avengers piece ever sold. It was the cover for, I think, Avengers 67 or something like that. And it sold for close to 100 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he has some really nice shit. It's just
do you still go like to New Comic Book Day? Do you buy anything modern, or do you still go? Do you still have an LCS? Would that be your
him.
LCS?
That's my LCS.
Okay.
Like I just called them up and I said, what was it that I heard? There's the new Walking Dead series that's coming out.
Coming out in color. It came out today.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, oh yeah, grab me 2 of each.
Okay.
So he'll put them away and he'll keep them there. And sometimes I'll go after 2 months and he's like, that book is already $25. Like I know. But he'll
charges you what it's worth when you go and pick it up, or what it came out at?
No, when it came out, it wasn't, and then it'll pop up, especially when Walking Dead was hot, because I'm a zombie lover.
But does he give it to you at the original price?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He does. Yeah, so he's cool about that.
So you still do like the modern stuff, because Walking Dead, that's what, 20 years ago when it first came?
Yeah. I have the whole thing. I have all, but look, to me, zombies are like salt. Anything you pour it on is good.
Yeah.
you add a zombie to like Love Story and it's the best movie ever made.
but they are. Why is that, dude?
I don't know, brother. Like 28 days, 28 weeks. Amazing. Amazing.
I think the first 28 days was my favorite, dude, because just that isolation and the desolation and the guy waking up and there's nothing.
Oh, if you like that, pick up the book by Richard Matheson, I Am Legend. Read it and call me back.
All right.
It'll blow your mind.
Really?
Because first of all, it's the basis for all of it. Right. And I have the original. I have signed by him. Wow. Because I am a big fan. So I bought it years ago.
So you're a big George Romero fan as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Dawn of the Dead is my Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and then Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead to me was because it was just too old. The story was great, but it was too old. Dawn of the Dead was in the height when I was a teenager. I saw that movie every single Saturday night, and then I went to every midnight showing with all my friends, and we would go and we would make bets before we walked in the theater that the blonde guy would survive. And we would be like, no. I mean, literally, some of us would be like, he's not dying in this one, because we were like the guy that was shooting. I don't know if you saw that movie.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we loved that movie. And then Day of the Dead was also good. After that, they started kind of Land of the Dead was kind of okay.
They kind of turned into comedies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when those movies came out, I was probably like 8 or 9, so I was terrified, bro, because I was one of these kids with a vivid imagination. So I didn't see them until way later when I was a little older, dude. But for me, the Night of the Living Dead is probably the first one. It was done with no freaking money,
right?
Black and white. It just added to the horror. Dude, and then the ending is just heartbreaking,
I know, that is. And the one they did in 1991 wasn't bad. The color version, that was not bad. That remake was actually pretty good.
Yeah, dude, that's cool that you read The Walking Dead. There's a ton of zombie books now. I've read all of The Walking Dead, so I've read it. I don't have the issues. I got the big
compendiums.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan. Do you still watch the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Sunday night. It's like religion.
Man, I still watch it. And people are like, everybody's down on it.
Oh, no. You know what? There's so many bad shows out there.
Yes. But
you know what I mean?
There's a ton of good shows, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shows. But there's a lot of shows that aren't, people hype up. For example, one show that I really like, but if you really look at it, it went in a direction that was odd. Did you see Raised by Wolves? Man,
I have not. I hear it's good, but that's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
I mean, to me, the best new show in our theme that we like
was that
The Boys.
Oh, dude, Friday. Friday mornings, I watch it every Friday morning. It's like I get up, have breakfast, and I put on The Boys, dude. I can't wait. Some people is like, dude, wait until nighttime and watch. No, dude, I want to watch it at freaking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm already watching it.
No, The Boys is killer. I was blown. The episode 1 blew me away. From the moment the girl exploded, I was like,
oh, when
what is this?
When she's with the boyfriend?
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like, wait, he's holding her hands.
Yeah, and then the guy stops and goes, hey, sorry, and he takes off. You're like, that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
That I've never seen before.
It seems like every episode is like, wow, I've never seen that. I've never.
Yeah,
Seen
that's the thing. It's a really, really cool
it's,
episode.
it's so freaking graphic.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know what? If like remember the scene where I forget the name of the main superhero.
Highlander.
Highlander. When Highlander and the other girl superhero, because I haven't seen season 2. I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay.
I know. I've heard it's great.
It's freaking, dude. It takes season 1 and it's on steroids, bro.
I heard. I haven't sat down to watch it yet because I'm gonna binge it.
If you could believe that, dude, it's worse. It's worse.
Wow. But the scene where they go to the plane and they're talking and everybody's screaming and they're like, "We're gonna have to kill them."
Yeah.
What? It's like insane. But in that world, it makes sense, because it would be exactly what superheroes that have no there's no consequence. No, there's no consequence. No consequence, no remorse. They're brought up in a certain way. And some of them do have it, but to be in that mode, they have to all work together towards one end, or they get discovered.
Let me show real quick. Magic. I hear the comic that's what I've heard the comic.
I haven't read it.
I haven't read it either, but I was at a shop the other day at Phil's comic shop, and I was talking to Brian, and he says that the comic is that much worse.
Wow.
It's that much more depraved. He says that there's this thing called orgasmo or something, and he was telling me what it is, and he's like, I can't wait till it gets to that part because I don't know how they'll be able to do that. Because he says it's like,
I had never even heard of it until the show.
I had heard of it, but I never had gone out to look for it and read it, and I still haven't. But that's that. You know what I started today? Utopia.
How is that?
I'm 2.5 episodes in, and it's interesting. It's a little. You saw Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, I loved Umbrella Academy.
I didn't. I saw the first 2 episodes. Didn't do anything for me.
Oh, I loved it, and I think season 2 was better than season 1.
I heard season 2. I was almost going to start season 2 without watching 1.
Oh no, you got to watch. It's really good, man.
Really?
But Utopia, it's kind of like that, but not as special effects. It's more in real world. Okay. And it's like a little conspiracy in it. It's not bad. It's almost set in the comic book world, but if a comic book was real,
right?
But now with superheroes, it's like they were foretelling stuff that happened in the real world. It's kind of like a mystery. So far I'm liking it. Give it a chance if you want to see it. But it's graphic as well, very violent.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mind that. I'm not
No, you're a zombie fan, of course not.
Yeah, no, Grand Theft Auto, zombies, Call of Duty. It takes a lot to rock my world.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if I'm like that, dude, but I guess I am. I just don't.
I mean, it's fiction. You know what I mean? I don't live it.
Yeah. No, of course. But there's people that, dude, really get off on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Do you go to any cons?
Yeah, I did. I normally would go to the one in Miami. That would happen, like SunCon. That would happen. Is it SunCon, the one that happens in the summer? Right. And then I was trying to get to New York. I was trying to get to New York Con. I did have 1 year booked to go to Comic-Con, but it's so crazy. I didn't want to do it. After I looked at everything and how much it was going to cost, and I was going to take my wife, and my wife literally, for me to go to a con in San Diego, like Comic-Con, was going to cost me a fortune because all my wife would do is go somewhere else and shop.
Yeah, that's my wife.
So I would be literally like not able to buy comics or eat because all the money would be like in whatever strip malls they have around there.
No, I totally feel you. Getting to that, how does your wife feel about you and the collecting and everything, or your family?
She loves it. She loves it. Yeah, she loves it. She thinks it's really cool.
Really?
Because what happened is I've always been very pro art
Mhm.
and comics and things of that nature. So I never, like, from day one when she walked into my apartment, I was living by myself.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "What's this?" I'm like, "A bunch of comic books." She's like, "You like comic books?" I'm like, "No, I'm crazy about comic books. You ever seen one?" So she was like, "Not really." I'm like, "Sit down, let me tell you about them." So she was like, "That's really cool." And then I had my stereo. I love my music, right? And then her, this is my second marriage, so she came with a couple of kids. Her kids came over and they were like, "This guy's really cool."
That's the same thing happened to me in my second marriage. I have my kids and they love it.
Yeah, exactly.
But my wife's kids now, especially her son, it's like
Oh, my stepson's the same.
he
He's
freaking
a
loves
huge fan. He's a
He
huge.
loves it. He loves it more than my kids. Except my daughter's really into it. My boys really they like it, but they're into their own things. But he's more into it.
Yeah,
Man,
like now I actually have him reading Alex Raymond Flash Gordon.
nice.
Dude, if you've never read that,
Never
again,
read
another suggestion. He told me, he goes, "It's amazing that every sci-fi movie I've ever seen is based on this."
Wow.
Because Star Wars was supposed to be Flash Gordon.
Really?
Yeah, what happened is George Lucas was in love with Flash Gordon. So he wanted to make Flash Gordon and he wanted to spend a ton of money on it. So he went to the Alex Raymond family, the guy who invented it and did all the artwork, which is amazing art. I'm going to do a show on it so
Nice.
you can see it. The next show is going to be just about Flash
Nice.
and Alex Raymond. So he went to them and they said, "Not ever will we sell the rights to Flash Gordon." They said, "Never, no, don't ever come back. We don't want to talk." So he got really pissed because he had written the script. So
Wow.
he went back and he rewrote all the names, changed all the characters, and made Star Wars.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
like, the Emperor is Emperor Ming, and the Dr. Zarkov is Han Solo. The Luke Skywalker is Flash Gordon. Dale is the princess.
Oh shit! So then he just worked around that.
Yeah, he just made the whole story. And then for years, he said it was based on Lord of the Rings. But in 1976, I read an interview, and remember Famous Monsters?
Yes, the magazines.
Yeah, when he was making the movie, there was an interview there, and he said it was supposed to have been Flash Gordon. Then around the 90s, he came back and said, "Yeah, no, it was supposed to be Flash Gordon, but it wasn't really Lord of the Rings."
Bro, look, Vivi agrees with you. It is a master. Flash Gordon.
Is a masterpiece.
Okay, do you remember? I know you remember. Do you remember? Because I think especially when I was a kid. So you're a little older. But you remember when they would show those old Buster Crab?
Oh yeah, but look at the artwork.
Yeah, dude.
Look at the artwork. This guy was like a master at the time. You got to remember, there were no computers. This guy was drawing with grape leaves. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful, dude.
Look at this. Look at that stuff. I have it out because actually he's been reading them, so I've been giving him all the different ones. But look at that art. Look at that.
Dude, that's beautiful.
It's freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm a Flash Gordon. I don't know. I'm not into it, but I am a fan. Like I was mentioning the Buster Crab cereal. I used to watch that and I used to build it. I couldn't build it in my house, but I was a kid and I would, you get the la sábana, you get the comforter.
Yes.
And I used to get the chairs, and then I would put and that would be like my capsule, and then I would have my little things in there. And it was total Flash Gordon in my head, man. And it was watching the old Buster Crab black and white shows, man.
And they were super cool for their time.
And then freaking when the movie came out, what was it, 79?
Yeah, that was a cool movie.
Bro.
People don't realize how good that movie was.
Bro.
They even tried to add some cheesy stuff to it, but it is a great movie.
I watch that every time. I will still watch that if I come across it. It is excellent, man. Ming the Merciless.
Yeah, and the Queen soundtrack.
The Queen, bro, come on.
That's a freaking It's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome.
God, I loved it, man. You mentioned music.
Yeah.
And
Eddie.
No. I don't want to get into Eddie right now, but your videos, dude, you pick some excellent choices at the beginning of your videos, man.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You really blew me away when you
Massive Attack.
Massive Attack.
Yeah, bro. Massive Attack is killer.
Bro, when you played that's from Blue Lines.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's one of my all-time favorite songs. And I don't even, it's called Symphony something. I forget the name of the song. Oh my God, when you played that, I was like, oh shit, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
my audio's getting better because my audio at the beginning was really bad. But that's why I got the mic. Remember I showed you the mic? Yeah. So that I could fix it because it was crazy. And my editing software is literally the free Windows software. So yeah, you know, I'm like the Alex Raymond of podcasting. I'm working with grape leaves.
Bro, but you're more advanced than me because editing is a word that's a 4-letter word to me. I am either do it in one take,
yeah,
that's it, or go live. And there's no bells and whistles. Okay, that's all I got to say. I know how to do a thumbnail and a basic thumbnail for a video. That's about it. Dude, Unruly, Massive Attack, man. Dude.
Yeah. It was really cool.
When you played that, you played another time, you played Everyone Wants to Rule the World. I think you played oh my God, what is their name? Pet Shop Boys, I believe you played.
Yes, dude, yeah, I did.
Excellent music, man. That was pretty much my teen years. I guess you were in your early 20s.
Yeah, it was the 1980s music.
Yeah, 1980s music, bro.
Yeah. I love all that.
Yeah, dude. I was.
No, I haven't seen the 4K of Flash.
Yeah, me neither.
Dude, I gotta get that.
You really blew me away with Massive Attack, dude.
Oh, it's gonna get better.
Oh yeah. What do you got in store? Like, what do you want? No, you know what? This is the question. I was gonna ask it earlier. You brought up your brother. I would think he knows about your YouTube channel, right?
My brother? No, you mean my cousin?
Your cousin. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does.
He does. What does he think about it?
You know, he's going through a rough time right now. Over the last 2 years, his wife got cancer. She died. He's become more serious, you know, and he's about 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So he's, you know, I mean, it's funny because he still has all his comics, right? Mm-hmm. And one time we were at a party and his kids weren't into the comics. So when his wife was alive, he leans over and we're both pretty trashed, right? And he goes, I'm going to leave you everything. And his wife goes, you're out of your freaking mind.
And you just went like,
ah! I was like, wait a minute. How old are you?
Oh my God, dude. I would have died. I would have shit my pants.
I know.
But that's something you don't say because that leads to murder. That's probable cause.
Exactly that. When it's funny because when I was one time sitting with my comics and my son is sitting in the room and he looks at me and he goes, Dad, when you die, who's gonna get your comics? And I looked at him and I said, up until today, it was gonna be you.
Oh my God. What was his reaction?
You can imagine he was like, that really sucks. I told him in the will, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, because I got 3 girls and him, right? Okay. I'm gonna say, you guys are all gonna have to do Greco-Roman wrestling and the winner takes it all. Nice. So he's like, I'm going to the gym.
I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna take a class. That's funny you say that, man. That's what my wife tells me. It's like recently I started selling some stuff, to buy more stuff, and my wife's like, don't sell too much. Remember, that's Daniel's and Madison's, because I think that's my daughter and her son, because they're the ones that are most into it. That's their inheritance. Okay.
Yeah, that's what my wife says the same thing.
Yeah, that's their inheritance. Don't start selling their inheritance. And I look at, and then I'm like, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind, dude? I'm taking everything with me. Everything's coming with me.
Yeah. No, I really will sell likely everything within the next 10 or 15 years.
You have to, right?
You have to. First of all, there's no point. Look, whenever I find a kid that likes comics, the first thing I do is I come home, I make a bag of about 30, 40 comics. I go and I give it to them.
Nice.
Because that's the way you promote. The other day I sold a comic on eBay. The guy writes me, my son went crazy. He loves the comic you sent. I said, how old is he? He's like 8. About 2 weeks later, he's like, dude, you sent me 20 comics. Really? Thank you very much. I was like, hell yeah. I want to make sure that this is about promoting the love of comic books, right? I mean, that's really what it's about.
It is. And it's a shame because you go to the shop now and it's all middle-aged men.
I know.
You know, 30 from 30 up or 20 up, I would say 20 to 50.
But you know,
majority.
But it was the same thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
When I would go in the 90s, the guys in the 20s were the ones buying. Because I think what happens is that you get exposed. First of all, I think the entire population of the comic book industry is maybe 100, 200,000 people. Yeah, I don't think there's more than that.
It's not a big, like even in YouTube, just take YouTube for example. Mm-hmm. It's not a huge community.
It's not. It's not. So when you get a generation, you're going to add maybe 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a year. Yeah. That's not a lot of people. You spread them across 50 states. Yeah. You got maybe like 25 in Miami, another 100 in Orlando, another 50. And you know what I mean? So it's not like an enormous amount of, but when, we get together in a con, it looks like we rule the world.
But it's not comic books. It's more.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
It's cosplay. It's people coming to get autographs from TV stars, or
that's what scares the hell out of me about comics. That right now we're into this whole thing about the covers, right? And it's the cover B, the cover D, the cover E. All of a sudden, second prints are worth more than first prints. What the hell is that shit, bro?
What the fuck? Who wanted a second print in our day, bro?
No one. You opened it up, and if you said this is a reprint, you gave it back.
You would look at the thing on the first page, and it would say second print. It was
and then they'll talk about the rareness of cover D. Find this. Find this. You know what I mean?
Wait, let me see that. Are you serious?
Yeah, find this. Find this. Okay. Tell me this is not rare. Now this is less money than a Harley Quinn first appearance in Batman Avengers.
Wow.
Do you know how many Hulk, and I did a show about this. You may have seen it. You know how many Hulk 181s there are in CGC?
Thousands.
35,000 9.8s.
It's not a rare book. It's not a rare
Why would anyone pay thousands of dollars for that thing? I walked into a comic book store about maybe 2 years ago. And the guy had Hulk 181 on the wall. And I go, do you have anything, that's hot? He's like, well, Hulk 181, it's one of the rare comics. I'm like, there's nothing rare about this thing.
It's not
rare. I said, you know what I used to do with Hulk 181? Ignore it.
Yeah.
If I found it in a bin, ignored it. You know why? Because Wolverine was a new character.
Yeah.
He wasn't an old character. He wasn't somebody that was like, oh my God, blowing my mind. The X-Men with John Byrne, 101, 94, those were different because that was the whole team. And that was some real stories. But Wolverine by himself in a comic book fighting the Hulk?
It was not a big deal, dude. It was not a big deal. Do you remember when 94 was more expensive than Giant Size?
Yeah, big time.
There was no comparison between the two. It was
and nobody discussed it. Yeah, nobody discussed it. And the issues between 70 and 94 were worthless.
Nobody wanted those. Those are the reprints.
Exactly.
It's the reprints. And you don't even see those anymore because I don't know if they even exist that much.
Well, I think what happens, and this is something I've always said, anytime you buy a collectible, it's never going to be worth anything. It has to be something no one is collecting that you save that becomes rare.
Exactly.
Because if the entire world puts it in a box and sticks it in a closet, the same amount of numbers are going to be there in 20 years.
Exactly.
That's the same thing that happened with Beanie Babies. Why? Yeah, it was ridiculous. People started buying Beanie Babies, because this is going to be a collectible. It says collectible. If it says collectible, it's not a collectible.
It's not a collectible. The only thing that says that says collectible is maybe those first, like the Silver Surfer 1, Big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was because but back then, you know how often a number one came out?
Never.
Never. When Nova number one came out, when Peter Parker Spectacular number one came out, I grabbed those things like they were made out of gold
Yeah.
because you never saw number one.
But you know what was the big deal about Spectacular Spider-Man 2? It was the first non-amazing Spider-Man title.
Mhm.
That was a big deal.
And it's never gained any value. I don't understand. That's
Bro.
a great series. If you ever read Spectacular Spider-Man number six, that's an amazing, amazing story.
Dude, that's nice, bro. Look at that. You got the specific one that just meant
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this one. I did a whole show on this one. I think you must have seen this. Let's see, where is it? I'm pretty sure you saw this one because this was one of the shows I did. I call it favorites, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This one,
Yeah.
Thor 200.
Yeah.
This is an amazing issue for a kid to read.
That's a beautiful cover, man. Beautiful.
Dude, it's the end of the world, literally, and Thor dies in it. Do you know how often a superhero died when we were kids?
Captain
Never.
Marvel. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, and he's the only one that stayed dead.
And he's still dead.
He's still dead, and he died of cancer.
He died of cancer, and they replaced him with a woman.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's one of my all-time favorites, man. Issue 29 is like I got it here. It's the one where he's like flying through space, the Starling one.
Right.
Oh my god, dude, that book is one of my all-time favorites, and it blew my mind. But yeah, man, that now it's like there's a number one every couple of months. Spider-Man is on I don't know what volume.
Yeah, and you know what it is that when we were growing up, there was a continuity.
Yes.
If something happened in a comic book, it meant something because it wasn't forgotten.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a dream. And it wasn't in the Twilight Zone. And it wasn't in the negative zone or the other universe or any of that shit. It lingered with that character forever.
Dude, you know what I miss? I've seen it. Donny Cates has done it a little bit in this Thor run. I miss reading a comic book and seeing as this happened in issue 31.
Yeah, that was Stan.
That was Stan. Dude, that made you want to go look and see, oh shit, this happened in issue 45. Let me go try to find 45 to see the whole story.
Do you know how many years I searched for Wonder Man's death?
Really?
Because the Avengers number 8, I think, or 9, whatever, where he dies, Wonder Man, he was one of the first Marvel characters to die.
Right.
And it was always referenced. Like, you know, when Wonder Man died, asterisk, Avengers number.
Yeah,
so
little asterisk. It was the little asterisk, yeah.
You could never find that issue anywhere. I used to go back then. I went to a school in downtown Miami. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know Jesu Church, the Catholic church that's down there.
No.
It's about 120 years old.
Yeah, I might not know it by the name.
It's a cathedral. It's actually beautiful, and it's about 120 years old.
Wow.
It was a school, and I went to that school. So when I was a kid, nobody was raping children. So I was able to go out of school and walk around without fear of being kidnapped, right? At least if they didn't kidnap them in my neighborhood. And we used to get out of school at 2:30 and walk over to the comic book store and hang out there. And there was a comic book store in downtown Miami called Abacus Hobbies.
Oh, wow. Never heard of that one.
Dude, this guy had a wall of long boxes.
Wow.
And then you would pull out this long box that never seemed to end. And he had every single thing you could ever imagine.
Where was this?
It was in the middle of downtown Miami in 1968, 69, around there. And what he would do, which was a crime, he would take a wax pen and write the price on it.
Oh.
I know. So I bought the most expensive comic book I ever bought when I was that age. I saved up $35 to buy the Malted Man Amazing Spider-Man number 35, I think.
Bro, you know what $35 was back then?
It was a ton of cash.
It was a ton of freaking
cash. I say I didn't eat lunch for like 3 weeks.
Bro, $35 for a comic back then is freaking crazy.
Oh yeah. No, it was crazy. I had $35. And that was the first number. Back then, we collected issues that had 12 cents on them.
Yeah.
And if they said pop art, it
Yeah.
blew our minds.
Yeah, because it was saying like right in the little window, right? In the where the superhero was.
The face, yeah. It was crazy. And then, dude, do you remember Fantastic Four? Do you remember what a beautiful series Fantastic Four was?
Gorgeous.
It was unbelievable.
That one and the Journey into Mystery, the early Thors.
Yeah.
Or like the one you just showed. Like I think that run of Thor is good until like that 200, man. After that, it loses some of it. But
yeah, I know you're right. The Journey into Mysteries were insane, though. The Journey into Mysteries. I'm looking for something here that
even the 120, what is it, 125, where it turns into Thor? That was, oh my goodness, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's gorgeous, bro.
Yeah, right. They're all in. I keep them all in Mylar. I mean, these are mine. These are the ones that will be sold at the end.
Yeah. You've shown us some CGC books. Do you slab a lot of books, or?
You know, what I'm beginning to do now is I was spending a lot of money buying slab books, and then I realized I had a lot of books that I could slab myself.
Yeah.
So I started doing the math, and now I'm sending more. Like right now, I just got back. Sometimes I get surprises, right? I sent this one out, and I was surprised. A couple of them. This one came back.
Restored?
No, qualified.
It's missing something, right?
Yeah. But look at this. This thing is gorgeous. This thing should be like an 8.0.
Ooh, that shit pops.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
The blue on that, dude. The red.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it got a 3.5, so it was heartbreaking because I think it's a beautiful cover.
What was missing from it? Why did it get the green label?
It says 1/3 page 6 missing. Effect story incomplete.
What year is that?
This is the first. This is the origin of Miss America, and it's 1943.
God bless, bro. Dude, you know what? That book, even if it is a green, it don't matter.
Oh yeah, no.
It does not affect it at all, dude. As far as I'm concerned. Wow.
6.5 a 10. I mean, to me, it's insane that you can even find them in this condition.
It blows my mind, dude.
Right? It's incredible. So these are the ones that I've been deciding to like kind of slab because it doesn't make sense.
You sent those in yourself?
Yeah, this is a heartbreaker, but I knew I was gonna get a grade here that was gonna be weird.
What number? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't want it, I'll take it. That's the first car, right? The quad car.
No, this is the first time they ever appear in a uniform. And the flying car and the Baxter building, all in the same issue.
What number is that for?
Number 3. Now you see what it has is that this right here has tape because this corner was ripped.
Gotcha.
So they taped it, so it's called restored. How the hell do you call that restored?
But it still has the tape, or the tape is gone?
No, it still has the tape. I didn't take the tape off. I was gonna have it restored.
No, I think that's crazy, dude. You know what? It doesn't matter to me. A 7.
Yeah, this is a beauty.
Wow,
this is a beauty. I love Batgirl.
That book is going up now.
This book is crazy.
Crazy, yeah. It wasn't before, and it's gotten crazy.
The other day I was looking at it. You know what's crazy too is Miss Marvel #1. Yeah. The Kamala Khan.
Oh,
what the hell just happened with that thing?
What you're talking about, the 0.1?
Yeah, I have it. I have a 9.8 that I got back when it was cheap. I bought it for like $40.
Good for you, bro. I got one at CGC now. I doubt it'll be a 9.8, but it doesn't matter because that book is just crazy. All these minority heroes.
Yeah, I got it because she's a Muslim.
Yeah, right. All those heroes, Miles Morales, oh my God, Riri Williams, Sylph, all of those are just going bonkers.
You saw my show on Woke, right?
On which one?
The last one I did, the one of comic book woke culture.
I didn't finish it. I saw the title. I saw the title, and I don't think
that one talks about that. Yeah, because I mean I have a series. Look, I don't have a problem with creating comic book characters. Mm-hmm. For example, Miles Morales.
Right.
Miles Morales is a great character. You know why?
He is.
Because he's not Black Peter Parker.
Yeah.
or he's not Hispanic Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Peter Parker is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's Miles Morales. It's just like the guy that's going to be the Captain America now. That's fine too, because those are icons. They're not people. But you can't take Peter Parker and just decide that he's a Cuban guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when I grew up, I didn't have any mental issues because Peter Parker wasn't Cuban.
Exactly.
You know, it never even occurred to me until somebody came and said, "Hey, we need," you know.
It's funny you bring that up because it never occurred to me either, man. Until all this has started, they were just people.
Yeah, exactly. Because to me, I was as much Peter Parker as Peter Parker was Peter Parker. I was Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
I never grew up and it's like, hey, man, there's no Cuban superhero.
It never even occurred to me.
Never occurred to me.
Yeah. It never even, I never, to me, it was if there would have been one. Like, you know, that's why Black Panther's so cool.
Yeah.
Because Black Panther is exactly what he is. He is a black superhero from Africa. Yeah. That is great. You want to create a superhero that is, you know, for example, in my thing, I talk about Professor X.
Okay.
He's in a wheelchair, but he was never seen as a humble invalid that we were giving a chance to become a superhero because he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He was in a wheelchair because he had a problem, but he wasn't about the wheelchair. No. You never saw Professor X as a handicapped guy.
You never saw him, dude. You never.
Did it ever occur to you, oh, the poor guy's in a wheelchair?
I never, I never felt sorry for him.
No, I mean, what was the University of the X-Men? Did it have ramps for his wheelchair? You know, were you concerned that there was a sign that said handicap parking in the front?
Yeah.
What the hell is all that about? I mean, right now, back then it was about, he was brilliant.
Yes.
He had a great mind, and that was his focus. And the wheelchair was there to show that you don't have to have physiology to be great.
Yeah. There was nothing held him back. He was who he was, and that was okay. And nobody felt sorry for him. He didn't feel sorry for himself.
And it was never discussed. There was never an episode where he was like this, and Wolverine was at the door going, "Poor guy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true, man. It's true. I think it's a great thing that they're doing this, but don't change the original character.
Yeah, exactly. Do whatever. Look, you know what? Do what we've always done. Be creative. Create great characters. And if you need a superhero to be a certain way because there's a reason for it, do it. But don't take Flash Gordon and make him an American Indian.
Exactly.
There's no point to it. Create an American Indian that goes to space and everyone will love it.
Dude, just create a character, man. And whatever comes out, dude. It's not like, oh, this character is going to be this character is going to be that, this character is going to be this. You just create a character, man. And the thing is, a lot of the characters now seem to be just retreads. The Batman who laughs, the three Jokers, the evil Robin, or Robin. I forget what the new Robin is. It's there's no originality. Look back. Look, I love the Bronze Age because that was my youth.
Right.
So I love it. I love the Silver Age, but the Bronze Age is because that's when I was growing up and I got into comics. Look at the explosion
of creativity
in the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Just look at it. It's Moon Knight, Iron Fist, Power, all these Werewolf by Night, Thanos. They all came in the Bronze Age, and it was like a massive. You don't see that now, man. The characters now, with a few exceptions, are. Who stands out? Miles Morales.
That's about it. That really is original. And can stand on his own, right? Because he is exactly. Look, dude, I have never seen a better cartoon than Into the Spider-Verse.
Incredible.
It was an amazing, and I fell in love with the character.
Yeah.
And you know what was nice? That he met Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Right, and there was that exchange, you know, and that was like passing on the torch. That's beautiful,
bro. And you loved him. You loved him.
Exactly, and for his reasons, not because he, you know, his uncle Todd died because he was shot as he was, you know, I mean, we didn't have to relive. It's like people say at this point, stop making superhero movies that talk about the origin. Everyone knows Batman's family died in an alley.
Bro, I'm sick of tired of those origin. Dude, I don't want to see Uncle Ben and and Spider-Man Origin again. They don't need to go there anymore. It's like just everybody knows already.
Yeah, they should put an asterisk in the movie that says "Go see first movie of Spider-Man."
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect, dude. It's true, man. Just freaking put an. I'm tired of it myself, man, dude. It's crazy. Dude, this has been a lot of fun. We're still going. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about time. Well, Javi's not here, man. I'm sorry, Javi's couldn't make it tonight, so we're going solo. Everybody in the chat, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pop up the comments as we're going. It's a little different with Javi not here, man. Javi's the ultimate wingman, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this because I am. But dude, Alex, this is a blast. Do you want to show anything else before we keep going? Because you have original art as well. You know what? Not very many people are into original. How long have you been into original art?
Well, okay, in around 1976.
That early?
Well, it's a story, right?
Okay.
I walked into the World Comic Book Convention, or the World Science Fiction Convention. Okay. It was being held in the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami.
Wow.
And it was the 35th World Science Fiction Convention. Back then, they were rare.
Yeah.
There was no Comic-Con. And in the middle of the lobby, there was a guy without a shirt, full of paint, with jeans, 2 cops standing by him, had a big monolithic piece of canvas, and he was just whacking the art on it. That was Frank Frazetta. Dude, I mean, that's when I said, this is art. This isn't about comics anymore, right? And then I started trying, and then I walked in and I met at a table this old guy who was selling axes and Middle Earth kind of stuff from Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. And I started talking to him, and he told me that he invented Mary Marvel, and it was C.C. Beck.
Wow.
And he was an old man. So he had a piece of original art. And he said to me, do you like this stuff? And I said, sure. So that was the first one. Then I didn't buy for, oh my God, I was like 12.
You were 12?
14, yeah. Something like that. And then I never bought another one again for years until I walked into the Orlando Con with my daughters. And I met Greg Land, which I know a lot of people shit on Greg Land. I love Greg Land. I absolutely think he's fantastic as a person. I walked up to his table and I started looking at his Ultimate Fantastic Four, which to me are some of the most beautiful pieces of work ever done for Fantastic Four. And I was talking to him about these 2 pieces. They're right, one of them's right here. That's the when Dr. Doom opens the portal into the dead world and brings the zombies.
Wow.
Right. So that's the comic book itself, the page in color, and then the actual. Let me see if I can get it better. And then the actual original piece that I mounted. I saw this one and the one next to it, which is the subsequent page.
Nice.
So my daughter was looking at him. She was going, these are beautiful. And I'll never forget, Greg Land turned around and he goes, you have daughters that like comic books? And I go, yeah. He's like,
yes.
Just pay me whatever you want.
You're blessed.
Literally, he was like, just pay me whatever you want. If she wants it, she can get it for whatever you want. I was like, how about a couple $100? He's like, give me $500 and take them both.
Wow.
So I got both of them for $500. But they're now worth a hell of a lot more money because they're you know, this one has all the Avengers. That one has Dr. Doom. This one has Dr. Doom. But that one has Dr. Doom and Sue Richards.
Dude,
and then over here,
art's blowing up, man.
And then over here, this is all Starlin. This is Superman with Starman. Comic DC Comics present. I kind of started doing this frame system where I would get the original comic, take out the pages, and then mount the pages that the original art represents.
No, that's beautiful, dude.
So I started doing that. And then if you look at these down here, they're a little bit far, but those are Wiz Comics, actually Fawcett Comics from the 50s. Those are really hard to find. Really, really hard to find. Golden Age original art is very hard to find. But I've got a bunch.
I saw I think you were mentioning it.
Yeah, one of my things. I have one on original art.
You were talking about art from Japan. Was it in the chat that I saw?
Yeah, what it is that my daughters again fell in love with Ghibli Studio. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they do Spirited Away, Totoro, a lot of
Yeah, yeah. My daughter's a
anime.
big fan. My daughter's a big fan.
Well, those are considered national treasures by the government of Japan, so they cannot be exported. They're basically the Walt Disney of Japan.
Wow.
And in Japan, cartoons are more respected than movies. That's why Akira, you can't get Akira, you can't take original art of Akira. I mean, if you have it, it's because it got out years ago. I have 2 pieces of Ghibli Studio, and I have 1 piece of Sailor Moon, and both of those are framed and in my daughter's houses.
Oh,
I
wow.
got it for them.
So they really do love it.
Oh yeah, no, and you know, I kind of force it down their throats.
Bro, okay, we both grew up here in Florida, in Miami. Do you remember this? Keeping in that Japanese, I remember waking up. I think, dude, I was in.
Oh, I know what you're gonna go.
Wait, I remember waking up. It was probably 78, 79. I remember waking up at 6:30 in the morning to watch Star Blazers before school.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You,
and
you remember Star Blazers?
I remember Star Blazers, but I remember, and you may not remember this, Kimba the White Lion.
No, what's that?
Well, if you go back and watch when Lion King came out,
Yes.
Disney got sued by the company that owned Kimba the White Lion, because Kimba the White Lion is Lion King, and it was a Japanese cartoon. The problem and the reason it never stuck, and they were able to show the film and continue to show it today, is because the original creator of Kimba the White Lion came out and said that The Lion King was one of the best cartoons he ever saw, and he was honored that they made it. So he gave them the rights to it.
You know what, dude? Good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him, dude.
He basically stopped the whole lawsuit, and he said, look, you know what? Nobody remembers my cartoon. These people took it and really kicked ass with it, and they deserve it. They've done a great job.
Good for him, dude. Good for
Yeah.
him. Nobody would do that.
Well, you know, that's what, you know, when you have a passion, that's the only time you do that.
Yeah.
When it's about money, that's when you don't do that.
That's when you don't do it, dude.
You know what I mean? That's when you can tell the difference.
That art that you showed, the DC Special Edition, you said that was Starling?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yes.
I got to meet him. I've met him twice.
He's amazing, right? What a nice guy.
He's like my all-time, right? Dude, we were walking into SuperCon here when it was a couple of years back at the
Miami Beach.
at the convention center, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was me, my wife, and my daughter, and I was going specifically to see him, dude. And we're walking in, and he walks right by us with this little cart that he takes all his stuff. I guess he was going to his booth. I felt like I was 12 again. I was like,
it's funny, right? It's funny.
That's him.
I know. You know who that happened to me with Neil Adams the first time I met him.
Wow. Neil Adams he's a little bit more standoff. You know, he's a character. He's more.
He is. But dude, you know, he has a million defects. He believes the earth is hollow, and he's completely out of his mind when it comes to stuff like that. I agree. But what he did for creators, bro. I mean, you know, Simon and that did the Superman.
Right.
They were literally living in squalor.
Yeah.
And he forced DC to pay them.
Yeah.
He created the entire system of rights that creators get for anything they create.
Yeah.
He fought for that shit hand and fist, and he was the best ever artist of the 1970s. In my opinion, I absolutely love Batman, X-Men, everything he did.
I can't disagree with you. He's got to be it, right?
He's amazing. He's just an amazing. He, you know, when I meet him now, the thing is, like, it's kind of like when I went to France, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I went to France, I went with my son, and my son was living in London. So we went to France, and my son told me at the end of the trip, because we went and did a whole thing in France, went to vineyards and shit, because he was living in London. I had the time.
Mhm.
And he said to me when we're leaving, Dad, I'm so happy I came here with you.
Mhm.
And I said, why? He goes, it was a completely different France. He goes, when I come here with other people, they all shit on France. They all talk about how the French suck. When you came to France, you were like, this is the coolest place on earth. Check out this food. Look at these people. Everybody loved you. He goes, we were never treated bad. Nobody gave us a hard time because you would walk into restaurants and be like, I love French food. They're like, we like you.
It's true, dude.
It was a completely different experience. And that's the same thing that happened to me with Neil Adams. When I walked up to him, I was like you. I was a 45-year-old man that was a little 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was like, my best friend was with me, who's been with me as a best friend since we're kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I've never seen you become a little child until I saw you in front of him. I was like, because this dude was to me like the best art. I would sit there and try to draw like him. You know what I mean?
You remember getting the old tracing paper? Remember it was super thin and putting it on a cover, and you would try to trace the covers.
Oh yeah. All of that.
That's all we did when we were kids, man.
I tried. I'm not that good. I've done some stuff myself. Like this is pastels, right?
Oh shit, dude, that's good.
This is pastel. This is Wolverine. So there's some stuff that I'd like to do because that's always been my hobby. Hey, but the thing is, it's not. I can't compare.
What a great hobby that you could be 12 years old again, right?
Oh yeah, no, I thought the other day my daughter and I were discussing some stuff that we're kind of disagreeing on, and he was like, Dad, you really need to grow up about something, this thing. And I said, honey, I like comic books. How the hell am I ever gonna grow up? I'm like, you're talking to a man that sits in a room surrounded by comic books. I'm a kid. I'm gonna die a child.
We're blessed.
Exactly.
Bro, did you ever in your freaking wildest dreams imagine that you'd be on a Wednesday night?
Never.
I'm 51. I don't know. How old are you? You're like
59.
What? 59. You don't seem 59.
Yeah.
Better yet, let me ask you this. Let me phrase it this way. Your father would freak out right now if he saw you right now.
Oh, I know.
My dad, remember what were comic books? What would they call muñequitos?
Muñequito, yeah, era bobería, era cosa de niño.
Cosa de niño.
My father would go, muchacho, tú estás comiendo mierda con esa cosa.
Comiendo, tú eres un come mierda. ¿Qué esta mierda?
Yeah.
I remember my dad looking at me. It's like, ¿tú estás seguro que esto va?
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be worth something. This is so stupid.
¿Tú estás seguro? Si tú dices, pero.
Right. Yeah, how is it possible?
Dude,
but well, think about it, brother. These are pages that I just showed you. Mm-hmm. They're 500, 700, 800.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that exist.
That's amazing.
No one has another one. But they're willing to pay $4,000 for a comic book that they printed 20,000 of.
Yeah.
It doesn't connect. That's why I've shifted to original art, because I truly believe that the future of art will exist beyond comics as a medium, right? So art is always going to be art. People like original art because they have the drawing on their wall, they have the pastel, the watercolor, and they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Comic books, if they're not one of 100, they can't possibly ever survive the pricing. Yeah. Because when the next generation comes in, they're going to be like, pero ¿por qué?
Yeah.
Y eso es lo que pasa, right? Because you get the bump, right? You get the bump of the hype. Mm-hmm. The hype, everybody paying, and then all of a sudden, boom.
And then it settles. And then it settles at a certain price.
Yeah, and the price is usually like 1/25 of what it was when it was big.
Before. Hey, real quick, man. I'm sorry I missed this comment, but Vivi, this one. He knows Kimba White Lion because he's
very cool.
He's in Austria. And dude was on German TV when I was a kid. I have never heard. I'm gonna have to look up Kimba the White Lion.
It's a beautiful cartoon. Beautiful story.
And it's
kind of like the Speed Racer. and Speed Racer came right after. You ever hear of Prince Planet?
No.
You got to look at that. That's another one. They're gonna bring that sucker back. Trust me. Prince Planet's coming back.
Never heard of that. Look, and his father named him after Marvel's Thor.
That's pretty cool.
Thor. Dude, that is badass.
Not even the real God Thor.
What's up, Stanovis? What's going on? Hey, man, dude. Yeah, man. My father, I wish he was around because he'd freak out that I have a comic book room.
And a podcast.
Yeah, and I'm talking comic books, bro, at 51. He's like, dude, grow up.
Exactly.
Our parents left pretty much, they left everything.
Yeah.
For us to be talking here tonight, dude.
Well, my mother's brother collected EC in Cuba.
No shit. What?
Yeah, and I found out years later, and he actually made binders. You know how people make books and they bind them? Yeah. He bound all the ECs, but he left them there. So God knows whatever happened to them, because he told me one day he saw my ECs, because I love EC, right? And I've been buying EC like crazy. I think those are timeless. And he told me, he goes, "Oh, I used to have those," and he told me about Tales from the Crypt and all that. And then there was one that was in Spanish que se llamaba El Monje Loco. I don't know if you ever heard.
No, ¿el qué loco?
El Monje Loco. Wow. And it was the crazy monk, and it was like Tales from the Crypt in Spanish. So dude, he said that he had those.
That's amazing.
I know, in the 50s in Cuba.
That's amazing, dude. Los muñequitos.
Right? It's crazy, brother. My best friend, that since we're little, we've been collecting them. He tells me all the time, he goes, every now and then I look at them and I see colored pages, and it scares me.
Wow. Yeah, dude, I know. Dude, I got friends. I got one in particular, my friend Scott. He lives in Port St. Lucie. Every time he comes down, he comes in here and he's like he was here last week because he was studying for a test down here in Miami. So I gave him the room. Hey man, study, pass your thing, and he'd be like, brother, un gringo. I love this guy. Brother, if I had all this, I'd sell it so fast, brother. Brother, I'd sell all of this. I don't know.
But it breaks your heart, man.
He just doesn't love it. People, it's like you said earlier, man. It's a small percentage of the population that's into this. It really is.
And we love it because we love it, not because it's valuable.
Exactly. And you know what's the great thing, Alex? Everybody's collection is special. They're all different.
Yep.
And like, I wouldn't trade my collection for nobody. I just won't.
I have shit nobody cares about. I have Micronauts.
Micronauts, dude.
I love Micronauts.
Dude, do you remember the toys?
Yeah. No, but the comics, if you ever read them, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And I am absolutely sure that the Quantum Realm is going to find the Micronauts.
I hope so. Who was the artist? Was it Golden?
You know that I don't remember.
I think Golden did like the first 10. I believe. Man, was it Golden?
I don't remember because I read them. Those are some of the ones I read. I read those.
Art is really amazing, dude. That's a very underpriced, underappreciated run in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. And the real problem with Micronauts is that the rights are not owned by Marvel.
Exactly. I think
they're owned by Hasbro. I think
Bug. Isn't there like a character? Isn't Bug?
Yeah. That's my favorite.
He's the only one that Marvel owns, though.
Yeah, I have some Bug artwork, original art.
Really?
Yeah. I actually bought it, and it was funny. I ran into a guy that was selling Morbius art, and I love Morbius. I'm a huge fan. Spider-Man 101. I was buying that shit when nobody gave a damn about it. So I ended up having like 7 issues of Spider-Man 101. I've sold all of them but 2. And today at midnight, one of them is already got a bid on it for a couple, like $400 or $500.
Dude, so, I just got my first 101 on Monday.
I love that comic. I love that comic.
This is the first one. I just got it on Monday, bro. I am so jacked.
I love that. I love that.
I got this, dude. I never really appreciated it until I got it in my hands.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I didn't know it was a Gil Kane cover. It's freaking gorgeous.
It is. It is. It is. It is. I never understood why. And there's something funny. Look, this is my last one. The one I have out there right now is a 5.0, but this is my last one of the 6 I had.
Beautiful.
But you know what's funny about this book and important? This is considered the marker for the Bronze Age.
I did not know that.
That one, there's a debate between Spider-Man 101 and Silver Surfer 1.
Okay.
And the debate is that Silver Surfer was a creation of the Silver Age, but got his number 1 at the beginning of the Bronze Age.
Gotcha.
And it was a 15 center, right? So, and really 25 center because it was 25 cent because it was double sided. But 101 was the very, very, very first horror superhero. So it defined the fact that a vampire wasn't Dracula, he was a superhero. Because he's not a vampire, he's a superhero vampire.
Living vampire, yeah, he's a superhero.
Yeah, he was a scientific invention that turned him into a vampire. And then after him, they actually started bringing out Man-Thing, Ghost Rider, because the original Ghost Rider, which I also covered in one of my things, was a Western.
Yes.
Which I'm collecting now. I've started. I got all the Marvel ones. Now I'm into the Golden Age ones.
That Golden Age one, his first appearance goes for good money.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
It goes for really good money.
The only one I have right now of the Golden Age, because these are the ones. This is the one I started now on. Is this baby?
Wow, that's beautiful, dude.
Oh, it's a very, very nice. The thing with Ghost Rider is that they're Frank Frazettas.
That's what I was about to say. That's a Frazetta, right?
This one has a Frazetta art, but not the cover.
The first one does.
The first one is a cover. The second, the third, there's like 4 or 5 that the covers are Frank Frazetta.
Wow.
Inside, like I collect ECs with Frank Frazetta. I love Frank Frazetta.
He's my all-time number 1 artist.
Yeah, no, he's unbelievable.
I got on Instagram. Somebody posted a Boris.
Oh yeah, Boris Vallejo.
And I was like, I put something like, he's no Frazetta, because I never liked Boris for some reason. It's like he tried to be Frazetta.
Exactly. He came after Frazetta and he copied Frazetta.
He copied Frazetta, and he's no Frazetta. And the guy,
beautiful. That's great work.
It's beautiful, but it's not Frazetta.
You know what I think about it is that Boris Vallejo's art is very cold.
Yes.
It's very pretty. It's like the difference between, and this may not fall well with everyone, but the difference between a beautiful woman and a hot woman. Okay, a hot woman doesn't have to be the most gorgeous Barbie doll woman in the world, but a Barbie doll woman is not necessarily a hot woman. Yeah. Same thing with Frazetta. Frazetta is a hot woman. Yeah. His art. Boris is a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
it's just perfect. It's like una muñequita.
That's what you just said. His art was, I don't want to say it's more detailed, but it looked like he put more work into it, and he was just always trying to get it right and all this. And in trying to get it right, it
lost the emotion.
It lost the emotion.
And when you see Frazetta stuff, it looks like it's moving.
It's moving. It's not as detailed. The lines aren't as crisp. It's almost like it's not the details there, but it's gorgeous, bro.
Dude, look at Alien Crucifixion. That's the one I saw him draw. And he spent like 2 days in the middle of the thing putting that up. That thing was insane. We were like sitting there shocked because not only was it beautiful, but it was the first time we ever saw that the image of a Christ figure could exist in an alien world.
Wow.
Because he was doing it for eerie, I think, or creepy.
Or creepy.
Yeah, one of those.
Dude, Do you remember? I remember this is before I knew who Frazetta was, or maybe not. I probably didn't know, but I would go into remember. I don't know if you remember. You know Spencer's now.
Yeah.
You remember back then it used to be called Barefoot Mailman.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It used to be called Barefoot Mailman.
That's a Frazetta.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
That's a Frazetta. That's a Buck Rogers. Isn't that beautiful?
Dude, that is
It's crazy. It's freaking crazy.
that's freaking gorgeous, dude. I would go into Barefoot Mailman, and they used to sell remember the oh my god, Molly Hatchet covers that he.
Oh yeah, that was Frazetta.
That was Frazetta, and they would sell them as puzzles, and I would go buy the puzzles, make the puzzles, then I would tape up the back of the puzzles and put them up on my wall as I was like when I was a teenager. Dude, he has to be the all-time best. I know Kirby as far as comics.
Yeah, yeah.
Frazetta, dude.
No, I think Kirby has his dues, but I like Kirby. I always thought Kirby was too many blocks. He was a little too blocky for me.
I've only come to appreciate Kirby within the last, bro, I hate to say it, but since I got back into comics like 4 years ago is when I've learned to appreciate him. When I was a kid, when I was growing up, I didn't appreciate him. But what Kirby, I think he's the master of is the composition and the action. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, he is. He is.
You know, the action and the machinery. Nobody.
Oh, the machinery. Yeah, the Fantastic Four devices. Yeah.
Bro, each one of those freaking machines look like they actually work, bro.
Yeah.
they could actually work, man. But I appreciate him now, and I love him now. But it took me a long time. I thought the same thing. He was just so blocky. But
yeah. And the thing, like I said, I liked his I really liked his Fantastic Four. I was not so into his Captain America. I found his Captain America, the fingers were square. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was different for me.
Yeah, I could see that. Even the one
Steranko Captain America, I think kicks ass.
Have you met him?
Yeah, he's funny, dude. I walked up to him one day, and again, the 12-year-old. I was like, Jim Steranko? He was by himself. It was at a con. No one was paying attention to him, and he had that book called The Art of Steranko, right, that he sells. Yeah. So I walked up to him, and I was broke. I was about to leave. So I saw him. I was like, Jim Steranko, this is amazing. And I walked up to him. I'm like, I am such a fan. He's like, dude, if you're such a fan, buy some shit.
What?
I'm like, yeah, I swear to God. I was like, I don't have any cash on me, so I'm sorry, brother.
Dude, but he's a character. Was he like in the double-breasted suit? He
had the turtleneck,
and he has the nice hair. He has the nice hair. Yeah, he's a freaking character. And it's funny when I think he was at the first con I ever went to, and that was before I knew what to do at a con. So I was just like, and I was just looking from afar, and I was just in awe of him, dude. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's insane.
I didn't even think to buy any. I didn't even think about it. I wish I could go back in time and appreciate it, get some signatures or something, man. But
yeah, me too. I always like I when I was a kid, we used to go to the Howard Johnson in North Miami Beach.
Okay.
And you won't believe this, but Stan Lee would go.
What?
And there were 50 people maybe in the room, and we would sit in the front as little kids, maybe 12, 13, and Stan Lee would sit at the podium and start telling stories. And to us, it was like, we're going to go meet Stan. And what we liked was that, I swear to God, here's an adult who likes comics. That's what we saw. This is so cool because this validates what we like. Yeah. And there's an adult that for the first time isn't going, "Es un muñequito." You know what I mean? He was talking about Peter Parker. He was talking about this. And we were like talking back to him, and he was responding. It was literally like being in a room with 50 people. And then we would go and watch the Star Trek bloopers on a projector. And he would go in the room with us.
Priceless.
Oh yeah, and back then he was broke
Yeah.
because this was like 76, 77 when he wasn't making a lot of money and Marvel was struggling because they struggled. They almost lost their ass.
Right. Dude, you know what is shocking to me? Go read a book that Stan wrote and compare it to something that came out today. Reading a Stan book takes you about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. You could read a book now like in under 5 easy.
Oh, for sure. For
It's
sure.
just crazy the amount of dialogue and expressions, and they would include like everyday kind of life stuff, like what was it? Johnny Storm goes to college, or
Remember that shit? Yeah, yeah.
all that stuff, dude.
And one thing I heard Stan say one time is you make a comic book assuming that the reader is reading his first comic book. You never ever make a comic book that demands that the reader has been following it. So you capture his imagination, you bring him into the story, and you do it. And I think that's what we're losing today with these ongoing serials that last for 20, 30, crossover into so many different. Because think about it, Raul, you remember the old Star Trek, the original, right?
Yes,
It was classic. Every episode.
my Star Trek. That's
That's my Star Trek. Every freaking episode. Every freaking episode is classic. Here it is, right?
That's my Star Trek, dude.
Yeah, every single episode is classic of this, right?
Yeah,
And there's nothing like it. When you hear Captain Kirk say the speech at the beginning, it just like the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, even today as an adult. And you know what was special? That every episode was one story.
Yeah.
You didn't have to sit there for 12 episodes to get a message. So you got 12 messages in 12 episodes. And each one was different. Each one was unique. Today, because we do these massive 12-hour movies as one episode, I think it's what kills the series. That's why they don't have that lasting effect, because you have to sit there and watch them. Look at Seinfeld. Every episode is a story
in itself,
and it's timeless.
Right.
It's timeless. But try to go watch X-Files. You're not. You know why? Because you got to watch the whole fucking thing.
Dude, I still don't know who the freaking cigarette man. I got tired of seeing trying to figure out what the mystery with the cigarette smoking man was.
Yeah, well, I think they got tired and couldn't figure it out either.
I think so too. Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Whoa, oh, Star Trek. All I could think of, bro, you automatically say Star Trek, and I'm just thinking, dun, 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 dun,
yeah. And the stuff doubles. And today you look at them and you're like, how could we not notice?
Bro, you know what's one of the best all-time Star Trek? You ever seen the movie Galaxy Quest?
Yes.
Bro, that movie
is good.
Nails Star Trek, bro.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. But I tell you, when I saw, remember I told you I went to Jersey when we first got here from Cuba? Yeah. When I landed, I walked into my my relative's house and I sat down in front of this TV set, because that's what they would do with you. You walk in and kids sit down, shut up, and watch TV. Exactly. So I did what every kid did: shut up, sit down, and watch TV. Yeah. And then my cousin, that I later found out had all these comics, was watching this show with a bunch of hillbillies called Hee Haw. And I was sitting there going, someone kill me. Someone please kill me. What is this thing? And then all of a sudden it ended and these stars came out. And you hear ding, ding, ding. And you heard William Shatner's voice and that ship. And I was like, that's what I want to be. That's America. This is where I came to this country. This is everything I've ever loved.
Dude, hey, you got a compliment, man. Louis, I would buy an autobiography of Alex from Alex, man.
Thank you, Louis. Every comic has been written for a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes their stuff. I'm just saying, I personally have always sat down and enjoyed, it's like, I think that good writing doesn't require you to think. I think it guides you. Yeah. Right. I think if you're required to think and interpret the artist, it means that the artist didn't finish the work
Mhm.
and is leaving it up to you. Some people like that.
Yeah.
I don't. When I want to be entertained, I want to be entertained. When I want to think, I'll write my own shit.
Yeah.
Seriously. If I want to come up with the reason why the aliens from Aliens Prometheus did what they did in that movie, I'll get Word open and write it myself and make it up. I don't have to sit there and dwell on what the hell. And I love Ridley Scott, but I mean, seriously.
Alex, I'm kind of with you, bro. I do want to think about it, but most of the time, what happens to me is I watch something and then I'll either see a review or hear somebody talking about it. It's like, damn, where the hell was I? I didn't catch that, or I didn't this, or I didn't. I was like, dude, I'm a dummy because I didn't see that. I was just enjoying it.
Exactly.
I'm not making more out of it than what it is. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, it's look at Blade Runner. What a work of art, right? I've never in my life, it's my favorite movie of all time. I literally could watch Blade Runner and listen to the soundtrack before I go to bed at night. I mean, I am in love with that movie. And you know that the words that Rutger Hauer says at the end, where he says that the memories are lost in rain like tears, right?
Yeah.
He made that up.
Wow.
It wasn't in the script.
He ad-libbed it.
He had lived it. When he sat there and he was talking, he literally added it in, and Ridley Scott said, "Shit, that's better than what I wrote."
He just recently passed away too.
Yeah, I know. I had a big thing. I loved him in that movie.
I'm a big Ridley Scott fan. Alien.
Me too.
Even
Thelma and Louise. I like them all. I heard somebody say one time, Ridley Scott can make a guy go to the bathroom look beautiful. That's true.
You know what I liked about it? Alien. The Alien, Blade Runner. Everything in those movies looked like it could happen. It looked like the Nostromo in Alien. It looks like probably what a real spaceship will look like. It's not Star Wars. It's not. It's a freighter. Blade Runner.
Well, and it was the first freighter, dude.
Yes,
that's what it is. It's like when I was a kid, I walked into a movie theater. I was an usher. Remember Concord Theater?
No.
That it was out on Bird Road and 113th.
Wait, Concord, was it?
Movie theater. It was a 3, and there was a 3 and 4 later. Well, I was an usher, so it was summer, and they sent this movie in for us to test, which we didn't get any information. We didn't know what the hell it was, so we put it in this little theater, and we all went in there to watch the movie because we did it before the theater opened.
Right.
And we walked out of there stunned because we had never seen anything like it. You know what it was? It was Halloween. But before Halloween, there had never been a slasher movie.
No.
There was nothing like that. So because of it, we experienced something that today you look at it and you go, "Hey, la mierda," because you see it all the time. And that's like Blade Runner. You look at Blade Runner today, and it looks like it was made today.
Yes.
You look at Alien today, and it looks like it was made today.
Made today.
I mean, you have this separation of reality, of time, and that time and reality, like you said, looks real. Even though the computer graphics are vector-based and green screens, they still look cool as shit.
Yeah.
When they're looking at the landing and it's coming out in that graph that nobody uses today because you get color imagery, right?
Right.
You almost like, I like that better.
It looks real. It looks freaking real.
Exactly.
Like how man would probably make it. Yeah, dude. Did you like Blade Runner? What was it? 2099 or
2049? 2049. I need to see it again. I saw it once. I liked it, but I didn't like Blade Runner. I experienced the first Blade Runner. It became I think that movie and Wrath of Khan I saw 100 million times because I had a VHS and I bought both. And another one was Superman with Christopher Reeves.
Amazing.
I played those 3 movies so much that I can almost dictate verbally every scene in them because I've seen them 1,000 times.
The first Superman
blew my mind.
blew my mind, right? Mind blowing, that movie, dude. He was Superman.
Yeah, it was incredible. I was sitting in the movie theater with my little cousin, and the guy behind me was talking.
Mhm.
And I got up and I looked at him and I said, "If you don't shut up, I am going to kill you." Because I was like, "Guy, shut the fuck up. This is the greatest movie I've ever seen."
It's amazing, dude. When he takes her up when they're flying, and
Yeah, it's beautiful.
it's gorgeous, bro.
Beautiful.
It's freaking
The
gorgeous.
the romance, the chemistry,
It's
it was
amazing,
amazing.
dude. And Wrath of Khan,
Oh,
bro. That little thing that they stick in Chekhov's ear was
yeah.
terrifying, bro. That was terrifying.
No, and the Genesis device.
The Genesis.
And what's his name? Ricardo Montalban. You know that he had no augmentation. That was his real chest. Those were his real arms.
Wow, dude.
He was a beast, and he was already old.
He was already old, and how cool that they used him, from the original TV show.
That's right, exactly. That they brought him back. Remember that? That was very, very cool. That's the kind of stuff that makes, you just, it just like makes the hairs in the back of your neck stand up when you're watching a movie like that,
Yeah, bro. That blew me away, man. Because it's like you saw the episode when you were growing up
20 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, and then you see the movie, and it's like, oh my god, that's the continuing story of that.
When he goes like this and he takes that hat off, you're like,
Oh,
holy shit! Yeah, because no one knew.
no one knew, bro. My god, dude, bro, we're going on almost 2 hours.
I know.
Bro, I think we could probably keep going too.
Well,
Yeah, let's bring this to a close. Oh my god. Dude, Alex, you want to let everybody know what's going on in your channel? What's your channel's name? It's Comic Book 1962. Go ahead.
Hey, Comic Book 1962 on YouTube. You can also get me on Instagram at Comic Book 62 on Instagram. And what I do is I really talk about different topics. I try to make each topic about something that I think is something I like or something that I think is important about the comic collecting. And I focus on what I have, right? My original art, short runs, because that's what I'm doing now. I'm collecting a lot of short runs. I don't want to get into 300 issue runs.
Yeah.
So I get into like Silver Surfer. I finished it. Now I'm into Ghost Rider. I'm going to finish that, the original one. Right. And like that, ECs. I want to get them all. But I don't, because there's only like 15 of each.
Right. So
it's manageable. I don't have to spend 300 or 400 issues or like Spider-Man 800 issues to get it.
Crazy.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. If you go there, I've got some content already, and you guys let me know if you enjoy it. You can get me at comicbook62@gmail.com.
Nice. And you also sell on eBay.
Yeah, I do. I sell on eBay.
Excellent.
Yeah. I got a little store on eBay.
Awesome, dude. I want to thank everybody that showed up today. Everybody's going to watch this on replay. Hope you enjoy, man. I know I did. Even though Javi was not here, I still had a blast. Hopefully Javi's be back next week. I'm sure he will.
I was looking forward to meeting Javi. I told you about. I had my my old San Juan comic books that I picked up in a like some bizarre little store in Old San Juan. My daughter went in the back and goes, "Dad, they have comics." I bought like 5 of these, each one for $10.
Nice.
And they're all golden age Disneys, but they're pretty. They're nice.
I'm sure Javi really wanted to meet you because, of course, we're all from down here. Magic Lasso, thank you, man. Steve, Stanibus, Cardstock, Louis the 13th, Comic Book, Steals and Deals. 84 was in here at the beginning. Vivi, man, thank you so much. Magic Lasso, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for sticking around. Everybody on the replay, we will be back here next week. And I'll announce it. I usually don't, but our guest for next week will be Comic Mag Musings. Bill, can't wait to hang out with him, man. But Alex, man, this was a blast.
Thank you, brother. I knew I would enjoy hanging out with you,
bro. This was a blast, bro. I can't believe we've been going 2 hours. It's flown.
I know it has.
It really has. And I just got to tell you, man, we are blessed.
Yeah, I agree. And living in Miami.
Thank you. Yeah, we are blessed, man. Our parents sacrificed all for us, came here, and now we're enjoying the fruits of their sacrifice, man.
Yeah, exactly. We'll actually have an inheritance for our kids.
We'll have an inheritance for our kids.
You know what I mean? It's like I tell my American friends, when your old people die, they give you an inheritance. When ours die, they give us debt.
Yeah. Bro, don't let me get. Oh, that's a whole different issue. But man,
That's the immigrant story, right?
The immigrant story, dude. But thank you so much, man. This has been my pleasure. My pleasure having you on. I don't know if that sounded right, but man, thank you for being on with us.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. And I look forward to watching your show.
And likewise, man. I'm glad you're on YouTube, man. I think you're gonna like it. It's a lot of fun sharing the hobby, man, because this can be a very lonely hobby.
It is, but it's hard work. YouTube is not easy, bro.
No, it's not. It
takes a lot of time.
It takes time, and it takes coming up with different ideas for your shows. It's difficult, but man, thank you so much, guys. See you next week, same time, same channel. Hopefully tomorrow on Hobbies, we're gonna be doing the Start Me Up show with Goat. Hopefully that goes on tomorrow at 9. Stay tuned for that. And other than that, thank you so much for coming. Take care. Bye.